Well, hello, the time is finally here. We are so excited to be officially announcing our topic and pattern for our 2025 year-long knit-along. We're exploring a topic we've never covered during the KAL this year, and I am super excited personally about the pattern that we've selected. So without further ado, the 2025 year-long knit-along topic is Slips and Stripes, Mastering Mosaic Color Work and Modern Design. And our pattern is this gorgeous cardigan by Natasha Hornbury called Nexus. So this is a really, really gorgeous cardigan that features mosaic color work along these dramatic sleeve panels, along with some corrugated ribbing. That's what's on the cuffs and around the edges. This pattern, Natasha was inspired by traditional Japanese boro and shishiko textile techniques. So it really does combine a lot of interesting details. Let me show you this slightly up close picture along the back. So we actually begin with these dramatic mosaic color work panels, and then pick up along these edges with these beautiful welts that frame everything, and continue on down with the body of the cardigan. Super, super excited. It's got a very unique construction, but not anything crazy difficult, just a different way of putting together a sweater that really creates a dramatic, unique design that also fits and wears really well. So we're super, super excited. Nexus is a size inclusive garment. It's got finished bust measurements anywhere from 36.5 to 63.75 inches. It's intended to be worn with about 4 to 6 inches of positive ease open like this. So it really is a lovely size inclusive garment. We're going to be covering a lot of great topics this year. Obviously, we're going to learn about mosaic color work. If you've never done mosaic color work before, basically you are only knitting with one color at a time. You're essentially knitting stripes back and forth, one color at a time, and then you're slipping stitches so that you pull your other color up into the row, and that's what creates this pattern. But there's no floats to manage. You're only using one color at a time. So mosaic is a great technique to add color play and drama to a piece while keeping things really, really super simple. So we're going to be learning all about mosaic color work, including how to read mosaic charts. All right, the pattern is charted. And if you've never worked from charts before, that's okay. We are going to walk you through how to do that. We're also going to be learning about picking up stitches, knitting welts. That's what to use, the bright red here, to frame various elements of this cardigan. So we're going to learn how to do that. We're going to learn 3-needle bind off. That's actually the technique that's used to close the bottom of the sleeve on this sweater. Super cool. There's no seaming in this garment. Everything comes together seamlessly. We're also going to be learning about German short rows, as well as some other short row techniques. So we're going to use some short rows to do a little bit of shaping in this garment. So if you haven't worked with short rows before, we're going to go over the German short rows technique that Natasha uses in the pattern, but I'll also show you a couple of different alternatives, because a little bit of a secret, German short rows aren't my favorite. I'll show you a couple of other different ways to tackle that. We're also going to learn some great things to put into your knitter's toolbox that you can apply to other projects. Things like how to read a pattern schematic and how to select your size, right? I told you this is intended to be worn with 4 to 6 inches of positive ease. That's something that sometimes folks struggle with a little bit. How do I calculate that in? What does all that mean? You're going to learn all about how to read the pattern schematic, how to take your own measurements, and how to calculate and figure out what the best size for you, because everybody likes a different amount of positive ease in their garments. We're going to learn all about contrast in color work, what it is, why it's important, how to go about choosing colors that have a lot of contrast, the way this sample is. Maybe you don't want necessarily as much contrast. We'll discuss all that during the year-long knit-along. So it's going to be great. Super excited. If you've never participated before, the way we do our year-long knit-along is we select a pattern that really encompasses a particular technique, like Nexus with mosaic color work. And we break the pattern down into manageable chunks that then we spread throughout the year. So it's a way to, on your own, you might see this pattern and go, gosh, that's really pretty, but I just don't know. That might be a little bit above my pay grade. I'm not sure I feel confident tackling that on my own. We will walk you through the pattern. We'll spread everything out so that it doesn't totally take over your knitting time for the year. You're not committing to just working on this cardigan for a whole year. You'll have plenty of breathing room throughout the year to work on lots of different things. The way we walk you through the pattern is pre-recorded video sessions. We use a platform called Teachable. You may be familiar with it. There's other folks who use it, including Knit Collage, for their quarterly knit-alongs. But the way it works, you'll have a Teachable account and you will have videos. They'll come out in drops throughout the year. Like I said, we spread it out. And so you will be able to watch those videos at your pace as many times as you want. You need to pause the video, back it up, watch it over and over and over again so that you feel confident in moving forward in the pattern. The videos are yours. They are yours forever. So if life happens to you over the course of the year and you have to put the project down for a little bit, that's okay. The videos will be there, and when you are able to pick the pattern back up, they'll be there waiting for you. So those will happen throughout the year. We've had a lot of positive feedback on the Teachable platform. People really enjoy it. I've combined talking head style videos like this, where I'm talking at the camera, versus overhead, zoomed in so you can see what I'm doing. And so that's really makes it an easy way to, throughout the year, tackle one piece at a time. Get your confidence going so that you feel good going through this pattern. Once each set of videos, like I said, we kind of release them in sets. When each set drops throughout the year, you'll have about a week to watch them. Maybe go ahead and start on the next part of the pattern. And then we have a live Q&A session. You can attend those either here in person at the shop or virtually. And while we're not going to leave you hanging in between sessions, if you've got questions that come up, you can always reach out and we'll go over all the different ways you can do that. But the live Q&As are kind of built-in times throughout the year where you can ask questions, get some clarification about what you've seen in the videos. There is no live instruction, however. Something we always want to make sure people understand. All the instruction comes through the pre-recorded videos. I do answer questions during the live Q&A sessions, but I don't necessarily provide actual step-by-step live instruction. So that's just something to be aware of. But like I said, the great thing about the videos is you watch them at your pace when it's convenient for you. You're not trying to tune in to a class session and maybe you've got something going on and you can't. If you can't watch the live Q&As as they happen, we actually have a way for you to go back and watch them. I'll explain how we do that in just a minute. Once per month throughout the knit-along, and sometimes more frequently depending on what's going on, you will receive exclusive email newsletters that are just for knit-along participants. Those are going to have your links, direct links to the Teachable platform so that you don't necessarily have to, if you want to bookmark it, great, but if you don't, it's always linked in the email newsletters. Every time new videos drop, reminders about live Q&A sessions, extra resources that we might find helpful, videos and things that build on the support session videos. Things like I knit English style. I hold the yarn with my right hand, but if you're a continental knitter and there's something about a technique where maybe, you know, the way you hold the yarn makes a difference, I am not able to demo that for you in the support session videos, but I will find another video where that's being demonstrated so that you have that resource as well. Won't leave you hanging. So those are in there. And then there's fun extras. You know, we do book recommendations, recipes, just kind of little fun extras that again are exclusive to our year-long knit-along participants. Then we will also have a private exclusive Facebook group just for KAL participants. And this is where you will be able to watch the live Q&A sessions virtually, all right? They are live streamed through the Facebook group and they are saved to the Facebook group for 30 days. That's a setting that Facebook has. We can't make it longer, unfortunately, but it can be saved for 30 days. So like I said before, if you are unable to watch or attend a live Q&A session when it's happening, you can always watch it later on. So that's the great thing about doing the year-long knit-along this way, is it makes it very accessible no matter where you live. The Facebook group is also where you can interact with your fellow KAL participants. You can post each other's progress, cheer each other on. If you've got questions, it provides another place for you to ask those questions and get advice or help. So it's a lot of fun. People really have enjoyed that aspect of the year-long knit-along. We often get asked, how experienced do I need to be? Can I be a new knitter and participate? So while we really do want everybody to be encouraged who wants to participate in the knit-along to do so, this pattern is rated as more of an intermediate pattern, all right? There are some skills that you are gonna need to have already, things that I'm not gonna cover in the support sessions, things like basic knitting skills, casting on, binding off, unless there's some kind of particular cast on or bind off technique that's specific to this pattern, I'm not gonna cover how to do that. Basic things like knit two together, make one left, make one right. Again, I'm gonna assume you have all of those basic knitting skills, that you're comfortable with reading a pattern, and that you're comfortable learning from pre-recorded videos. Everybody's learning style is different, but we just wanna make sure that folks do understand that there is not, while there are live Q&A sessions, there is no live instruction for the year-long knit-along, all right? And because of the unique construction of this sweater, we're actually going to start with these mosaic sleeve panels and then pick up stitches and work down from there. We do recommend that you have at least some sweater knitting experience, right? It doesn't have to be extensive. You don't have to have knit tons and tons of sweaters, but if you've at least done a couple of basic sweaters, especially top-down sweaters, that will probably give you some more confidence as you approach what's a more unique sweater construction that you probably haven't encountered yet. Again, it's not required that you've knit a sweater before, but you'll probably feel a little bit better about things, even if it's a baby sweater, guys. It doesn't have to have been a sweater for you, just that you understand the basic principles about how sweaters are typically constructed, then you'll feel a little more confident going into this project. Now, Nexus is knit in fingering weight yarn, all right? And it comes in 4 colors. That's what's intended. I know it looks like it might just be 3, but there's actually 2 colors in the color work. There's a main body color, and then there's like a pop or an accent color in the welts. Now, we understand picking a palette can be a little bit stressful. So for the first time in 3 years, we're gonna be offering kits for Nexus. We're super excited about that. We put together some great color combos for you. We're gonna be having 3 dyer yarn brands. There will be Little Fox Yarns in her Vixen base, which is a shop favorite. It's 80% merino, 20% silk. So it's been a shop favorite for years. If you've been with us any length of time, you've probably seen, felt, maybe even worked with Vixen. My sample is gonna be in Vixen. But as a hand dyed, that is gonna be the highest price point. We wanna make this as accessible as we can. So we're also gonna offer kits in Sandusgarn Sunday, which is a non-superwash 100% merino yarn. So if you'd like a non-superwash sweater, then Sunday is gonna be a great option for you. That's gonna be kind of a mid-price point. And then we also gonna be offering kits in Barocco Vintage Sock. It's a great workhorse yarn, 60% acrylic and 40% wool, means that you can throw it in the washing machine and the dryer. That's important to you. If you're like, I wanna make a garment, but it has got to be easy care, then Barocco Vintage Sock is a great option, all right? So we're also gonna be offering kits in that yarn as well. We really do wanna make this as accessible. It's not required that you buy yarn to participate in the year-long knit-along. They are separate, all right? The knit-along registration fee is $120. That's gonna cover your video support sessions, which are yours forever, the email newsletters, the live Q&A sessions, and the access to the private Facebook group, all right? If you've got yarn in your stash or combo of stash and new purchases, absolutely, that's great. It's not required that you buy yarn, but we wanted to offer the kits because, again, we know that sometimes when we're talking about picking 4 colors of yarn, that can be a little bit stressful. So those kits will be an additional fee. The registration fee does not cover the purchase of the pattern, all right? So you will have to purchase that as well as any other supplies that you will need. And those are all things that you can actually go to our website right now And the 2025 Yearlong Knit-A-Long has got its own page. It's under classes and events. So you can read more details, see everything that you would need to participate, all the supplies you would need and everything else. The kits are also linked from that page. So if you'd like to check out the kits, see what the color combos are, see what the pricing is. Of course, the prices are going to vary depending on the yarn brand or dyer, as well as the size that you're making, but all that information is on those kit pages, which are linked off of the main 2025 Yearlong Knit-A-Long page. You can check all that information out. And I want to remind you that, again, it's $120 to participate, but that is a great deal because not only is it including all these extras, but eventually in 2026, the video support sessions will be available to purchase as a class, just like other previous year's Yearlong Knit-A-Longs, including this year's 2024 Hana sweater knit-along. So if you missed out on registering for that, you will be able to, starting next month, purchase that as well as other video classes, but it will be more expensive and it won't include all the extras. So we encourage you, if you really like this sweater, think you want to knit it, even if you're looking at next year going, oh, I got a wedding or I've got a big travel plans, or I know that I've got a lot happening. If you purchase the Yearlong Knit-A-Long, register for that, you'll have the video support sessions. You can watch them whenever you get to them. It will be less expensive and you'll get extra content. So just something to think about. Registration and kit ordering is officially going to open on January 2nd, all right? So you cannot sign up for anything right now, but we wanted to go ahead, put this information out there, give you the chance to look through things, to plan out which kit you might want, to budget if you need to, and then starting January 2nd, we will open up registration for both the Yearlong Knit-A-Long as well as kit orders, all right? Everything will run through Saturday, January 18th. So you have a little over 2 weeks to sign up for the Knit-A-Long and to purchase your kit. I would recommend signing up for the Knit-A-Long first. There will be some videos that will be open to you immediately that will do things including helping you figure out what size you make, which will then determine what kit you need to buy. All right, so just a little thought there. But you will have through Saturday, January 18th. At that point, registration and kit orders will close. We'll send all the information off to the dyers. We'll order your yarn. Things will be back by early to mid-February, hopefully, and then we'll be ready to cast on. So we're so excited. We hope you will consider joining us. Nexus by Natasha Hornbury is the featured pattern for our 2025 Yearlong Knit-A-Long Slips and Stripes, Mastering Mosaic Color Work and Modern Design. We hope you'll join us.